I'm about to make buttercream icing. Now this same principle can be used to make any icing. You're gonna use the same principle to make any type of icing. This is how you're gonna start any type of icing. You're gonna take your stick of butter that's at room temperature and you're gonna cream it. You're gonna cream it like this. Make sure it's almost like you're trying to turn it into like a margarine type consistency, like a margarine spread. Margarine type spread type consistency. So you can cream the butter. Okay, and this is pretty much cream. You see, once it gets like margarine, see how it's like margarine in your hand? That's when you know it's been creamed. It's like a margarine spread. It becomes margarine. It's like making margarine at first. Homemade margarine, basically, at first. So you turn it into that type of consistency. Then you're going to take a metal spoon, a long metal spoon. Scrape everything off of the glove, like this. Scrape as much off of this glove as you can so you don't waste butter. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to cream it. Just like this. You see how it's creaming? You have to become like margarine. Cream it until you see like margarine, basically. Cream it. All right, now once you see that margarine, you start adding powdered sugar. Start adding small amounts of powdered sugar at a time. Just a little bit, about that much. Small amounts of powdered sugar at a time. See how it's creaming? See how it's becoming? That's your icing. That's how it's cream. That's your buttercream icing. Now, if you were doing this with cream cheese, you would still do this with the butter. If you're making the icing out of cream cheese, you would start by doing this with the butter before you add the cream cheese to it. See that? See how that's your buttercream right there. See. Then you would add about maybe a little bit of, now this is for vanilla buttercream, a little bit of vanilla extract. And mix that in a little bit. Then you would add about 1 teaspoon of milk, about 1 tablespoon of milk. You know, depending on however much icing you're making. Add about a tablespoon of milk. Incorporate your milk into it. And add a little bit more powdered sugar. See, and that's your buttercream icing. See how that's perfect? See the consistency of it? See how perfect it is? Now you want to add your powdered sugar very slowly and very gradually and very little at a time. See, that's your perfect cake icing without any machines or without any electronic devices. See, that's your buttercream. Perfect buttercream. Look at that. Look at the consistency of that. Look at this. Look at the consistency of it. That's your perfect buttercream icing. And again, you do that even if you're using cream cheese to make whatever icing you're making. You start the process by creaming the butter first. Now, but if you're adding cream cheese, you would just cream the butter, and then you would add the cream cheese after you've creamed the butter, and then incorporate it all together, and then you would start adding the powdered sugar to that. So if you're using cream cheese, you wouldn't add the powdered sugar until after you've after you first creamed the butter, like I showed you, and then added the cream cheese, and then creamed that, incorporated the cream cheese into the butter that has been creamed already. Then you start adding the powdered sugar and the cocoa powder or whatever you're going to add. And this is the finished product. See how perfect that is? Look at that. Perfection. That's how you get the perfect icing on a cake. Right there. Actually, I'm going to turn my light on so you can see. I'm going to turn the light on so you can see. See how perfect that is? Look at it. Look how perfect that icing is. That's how you get perfect cake icing. Look how perfect that is. And that's how you get perfect icing for any cake.